All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, tuning in to this webinar that we do, Field Notes, and for our real estate customers that we have that utilize our CRM. So this is the Mastering Real Estate Excellence with our CRM, Field Notes CRM. So what I wanted to talk to today about was next week, we're going to have a special guest. So that special guest is Renee Hawk. She is out of Illinois, and she will be she'll be my special guest. And this may happen with more people. Even Renee, we might even do a longer series, just depending on how it works out for everybody. But I do leave this as an open invitation to other customers, other real estate agents that would like to take on a special challenge, review their systems, how things are working, and possibly maybe how we can better some things with their processes and some of the tools that we have. So with that said, she wants to focus on the topic of templates. Now, I've discussed templates, and I 100% agree. I agree with her 100% with people need templates. If you're in charge of a business, you need templates. When I mean in charge of a business, like your own real estate business, right? Your own adventure, you need templates. There is no reason why you need to keep on saying the same thing and starting from scratch with it, even though you know it, right? You should be able to have templates, have them in a place organized, utilize them, and you should reap all the benefits to having those templates built. My personal experience when working in casinos and having to answer emails on behalf of an entity, I was made one time scared, right? When I first started a job, they wanted me to think like it was a big deal. Now it's a big deal because you are the voice of the company, right? But they just wanted to, I guess, put the fear in you. Now, instead of getting scared, what did I do was I built templates. I shadowed everybody that was doing the current active job of answering the emails. And all I did was extract what they said. If I felt that they weren't saying it, correctly, English was a second language for the majority of them. So, I would spice it up my own way, but obviously keep the main gist of the conversation and the point of the email and confirmation and all those kinds of things. I just clarified it, just cleaned it up, just made it more precise, leave any room for error. Things that I saw were the way that they wrote their emails was also causing more support. So I would read into this email caused 6 more emails to come in based off of questions. How can I answer all of that in that first email so I don't have to have these 6 other ongoing emails, right? So that's what I did. Took me about like a month or so to shadow, basically enough time for the company to think that I was ready to do this job. Now, they didn't give me any type of training because, of course, what do you need? What kind of training do you need to say, hey, answer that email? However, I shadowed everybody, spent my time, put my signatures together. I found a place within the email account that I was using on behalf of the company, like within my signatures. So I ended up creating like 20 different, 15 different, you know what I mean, signatures. In some signatures, it had like 2 different variations of emails, right? Because it was either this or that. So I would just put both of them in that one email, either keep the top, delete the bottom, edit, make it my own, send it out. So what would have taken me 20, 30 minutes to put an email together, I was able to quickly address it. It had all of the key points, so I'm not forgetting anything, right? The result of having 10, 15 emails, 3 emails to then have to deal with after your first email, I think is time consuming. I think that is a waste of your time. Even though special cases happen, I mean, if you can do something to avoid it, why wouldn't you, right? So that was what I did. And that's what we're going to discuss essentially is her journey with templates. She's part of a couple of groups or part of a group that shares templates and shares emails and has that as a discussion. So I'm pretty sure if they're having little, group studies and how would you say this is it reminds me of Oprah's little book club, but I mean, if this is their club and all they talk about is templates, well then do you have templates? Are you using templates? And how are you using them? Right? Do they help you with your day-to-day stuff? Does it help you with when you're setting up stuff? Does it give a list? Right? Does your email serve a purpose to somebody, like a checklist, making sure everything is done correctly? And then does that help you? Does it help you that when you email somebody and they come back to you well prepared with all of the things that you asked for so you can get your job done and deliver some excellence? You know, do you think that templated email that you went ahead and spent time on would help that person gather their thoughts, gather their documents, gather their list of things that they need to have ready for you? Or you go back and forth with emails, you go back and forth with text messaging. They call you 15 minutes before your meeting and say, "What was it that we needed again?" Oh, that's right. Yeah, the bank, they said to call them later about it. You know what I mean? So how are you supposed to move the ball forward if you really can't, you know, based on of their lack of participation? Now, is it 100% based off of what your actions? No, but at the end of the day, their actions affect you. So why not help? Why not put things together, right? Such as templates that then outline all of these things and just make your job that much more easier. So with all this said, that's going to be for next week. God willing, uh, hopefully nothing happens, but it should take place. So I'm, gonna love for anybody who would like to show up and be a fly on the wall and add their 2 cents to the webinar that we're going to be doing. However, you're welcome. Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna record this off and then I'm just gonna launch it. So, if you did want to participate, email me directly and I'll get you a spot to it. If not, this is going to be something that we're going to put together and produce, and I'm going to launch it this next Wednesday for everybody to view. And so, with that said, that's up and coming. That's next week, right? All about templates. That's all you got to think about, templates. Now, for today, what I wanted to do was essentially just highlight a little bit of like what we've done, right? That I want to use this and share my screen. So this is our playlist, right? You can search us FieldnotesAi in the emails that I'm sending out. I'm also sending out links to our playlist. Would highly suggest for people to subscribe to the channel. That way, anytime I post a new video, you're gonna get a notification. Please hit the notification bell button. Let's go ahead and get that stuff so that you can be notified of these. But so in just to kind of like recap, in the beginning, we had a bunch, right, of, let me just go ahead and mute this back. And so in the first, right, screenshot of the video, you'll see that not only is there some, I guess, does it show it here? The thumbnail. The thumbnail has some, but I'm pretty sure you can find that information within the description. But this first screenshot will show you, let me just take off. We'll give you a quick synopsis of what we discussed, right, through the whole video. I think the developer, not my producer, broke them up into sections and what we discussed. So if you needed to fast forward to something that was more specific, you'll be able to do that. But as you can see, we've got 25 plus. I think we're up to date as of September 4th. So up until last week, we've got all of our webinars. Now, these past couple, 10 videos, I've been focusing on going through pretty much every kind of tool within our system and then been trying to highlight and discuss it, right? So if you have questions, not only would it be good to start from the beginning, see which one kind of applies to you, make notes of it. I highly suggest using these like in the background for busy work. So if you're in your office, right, just play it. You'll hear it. If you hear something, obviously go back to the video, pause it, and I guess review it. If you have questions about it, you can always email me and let me know if you'd like for me to discuss that topic in specific, or to even do a Zoom with you particularly and go over this in specifics, right? Then I have no problem helping people understand, you know, what I have in my brain. Sometimes it can come out convoluted, but yeah, so huge resource, right? I try to cover a lot of topics. I try to take a lot of information that I get from agents and pass it on to other agents, like best practices. I try to, watch content, hear what other agents are doing, compare that to what I see in the field, and kind of best suggest things for our clients to really kind of push forward their business. So, and in reality, well, really, that's kind of been, my relationship with Renee. When we first met, she was somebody that was, you know, advocate about. Sorry, she was, what's the word that for? She was clear that she maybe didn't need help, and that she was, you know, good with how she was running her business at the time. Myself was a little bit persistent to investigate and to hear, how good things were, just to have, something to go back and forth with, and to really kind of, maybe I could hear something in which there's some pain and we can possibly fix. And so, when we first started out, it was not much, but then with the conversation that we had, she did have problems with a lead source, and how to approach that lead source, and is there something that she can do to get more traction with that lead source. And so looked at action plans, and I gave her a little bit of my sales insight, how to manage it and how to handle it, and she ended up creating one hell of an action plan that helped her deal with these leads, and in a way in which she wasn't slaving over the stove. She wasn't, a lot of things we were able to to automate for her. So no longer did she have to slave over the stove. In fact, she felt a relief in that she was able to partake in all of the real world, events in her life, especially end of the year, and still manage her business and not have to be 100% on top of everything. She essentially just had to make sure the system was moving out all the emails and was staying on top of the action plans, and then just following up with all the activity that the action plans created with the customers. And that was it. Deals started popping, and things started happening for her. And so what I can say was, that's when we really started to focus on how she does things. And that's when we just started to pull apart everything and really look, how can we automate things? How can we create contact forms for open houses to have people go right into your CRM? She also she was going to a real estate conference. Well, how do I get all these people that I'm going to meet in my system without having to do all this data entry myself? And so when she went to it, she was able to capture well over 170 real estate agents' information, none of it which she had to capture and data entry, any of it, because we made an easy, simple way of people to enter their information through a QR code. And so now she was there. You could scan it right on. I think she had a shirt. You could scan it. She had cards. She had the QR code all over the place, so people could meet and get into her CRM. She had automated messages for when people did that. That thank you for doing this, and follow up, and you know what I mean. Now she has a focus group of about 100 and something agents across the United States within her company, that she could immediately network. She could immediately pull a bulk email together, a text message. If she had phone numbers to everybody, she could send everybody a blast. What if she needed some help with something? What if she had somebody that was going into another city? She could immediately blast based off of area codes, a sourced group of agents to see who could possibly help her, right? I mean, you got to be, it's hard. The times are tough right now with deals, that if you're not getting creative, trying to make deals happen yourself, then you could just sit there twiddling your thumbs going nowhere, right? So this is what we did, right? When we first met, and what we've been continuously doing is just bettering our processes, making that much more thing. And you know what? What's really cool to see is Renee has a relaxed way to, managing this business. It's not, I don't see that, I don't see her stressed. She may have some stresses, but I don't see her, stressing about the program, the fact that she can't communicate with people, stressing over the small things. She's stressing over obviously the things that need to be stressed and need to be focused on. So just imagine how, how her day, having to worry about 100 things instead of just having to worry about the 1, 2 things that are important, you know, that has to be a benefit. But to just point out, right, with our little playlist of videos, a lot of information. In some cases, they're within 30 minutes. In some cases, I go an hour. And so this one's a short one. But please do try to watch as many as you can and see what they can help you with. If you'd like to discuss any of these videos in particular, please do bring them to me. I'd love to either maybe make another video on it, or use it as a topic of discussion in one of our webinars, or just even help you out with what you're looking to do. So that was some of the things that I wanted to recap. I think here we had organizing detailed information for better service. So creating and managing client profiles. You know, that's true. That's true. If you don't align these categories, right, to the information that you need to capture, then it's never going to be here. So if you want to do things, you need to capture that information prior. I have this one movie producer, and his phrase is, "Did you get the shot? Did you get the shot?" Because if you have the shot, then you can utilize it. But there's some directors that will want and have special requests. But what it comes down to is, do you have the shot? Because if you do, then you can utilize it, and there's nothing more to be said. But if you don't have the shot, then I apologize, but it's not going in the film. Now that's the same kind of concept with this is, do you have the field, right? Do you have the field, and did you capture that information? How are you supposed to follow up with people, especially your past clients, if you don't have their birthday? So now you don't have any way, you know, to wish them a happy birthday, which everybody loves to hear it, right? What if these are people that have done special things to you? They're your advocates. Anytime they hear anybody remotely talk about real estate, your name is coming out of their mouth in the conversation. So do you think just a happy birthday and a phone call is good enough for them? Why not make it that much more special? Just like you're coming out of their mouth every time they can hear somebody talk about real estate, why not anytime it's a special time for them, you make it be known? So once again, if you don't have that birthday information, if you don't have their emails, if you don't have the details, then you cannot do anything with it. So going through this and changing these are, preferred communication style. I think this is big, touched on it a couple of times, but capturing this information and utilizing it and communicating with people by their preferred style just oozes respect. And if you respect somebody and somebody can feel it, then that would make me an advocate of their services. But if somebody didn't respect me, I could care less about it. So huge. You can change your fields here just by changing the name here and hitting save. Now, please don't make a change to 10 of them and just hit save thinking that it's going to save. You change one, save it. Change one, save it. That's the best practice. Here you can also go to manage items and create other subcategories within that field. But huge part of your database, collecting the information that you need to, and then of course, utilizing it, right? So because all of these fields you can edit, there's really no excuse why you can't tailor this to yourself. And these categories and internal tags, sorry, the categories and groups, these two fields are huge, right? Because these badge tags that you can set up with anybody really can do a lot. They can trigger things. They can help break your contacts into specific lists. So I would definitely be utilizing these categories. lead capturing, conversation tips, efficiently capture and turn them into clients. So, with having a CRM, and I don't think maybe you guys do this as much as maybe other type of people within sales, right? But you guys, real estate agents, have that undertone of sales, right? Because you do have to have some salesmanship. But with the CRM, you can build a profile of right? Now, for you guys, anybody you meet with a remote interest to real estate, why not capture them and then post things throughout the year for new home buyers or for people that want to learn about real estate, right? And cultivate those, talk to them. You're a professional. You know about real estate. You know about the market. You know about this. You don't think people would love to talk to you about those types of things, but they don't want to feel like what you're trying to do is trying to sell them a home. But I'll tell you this, if through years of you coaching them, always being a resource, showing your knowledge and your expertise, when it comes to the moment for them needing a professional, who do you think that they might come first to mind? And who do you think they might suggest or utilize in one of these adventures, right? It's you. So why not cultivate that? Why not build that? Why not capture people? Why not have a bucket in which you can put all these people in? Email them the next time you have a new video that talks about something, real estate-ish, something that is something about new home buyers, right? Things that people can do to build their credit. So all of those things, I'm pretty sure you guys got topics about. You've either gone through it yourself personally, or you either have a company that can help them, something, right? You can email that to them. You can text message that opportunity to them. You can become a resource to them. You have a way of blasting that out to a group. And now, when the market's slow, well, you've got a list of about 100 people engaging in real estate that are just not there. They're just not ready yet. Now, for you, you could know when they're ready, right? Because you speak to them on a personal basis. That to me has more value than dumping your money on leads, because those are the same people that are going to go and search for an agent. But why when they already are working with indirectly, you know? So a CRM only can help you with that, you know? And then when you walk into this topic, you want to maximize your integrations. So if you can integrate, right, all of these different types of things into your system to save you down on data entry, just imagine what you could spend your time on. And let's say you've got a Facebook channel, sorry, not a Facebook channel, but a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, a TikTok. You could be funneling all of that activity into a landing page for people to get more information, in which when they obviously see those things, they get to the landing page, they input their information, it goes right into your CRM. You could have videos, content, PDFs, all kinds of things templated, ready to go in action plans that over time will give them possibly the feeling that you're consistently with them. However, you've built out all this content and you've delivered it to them in a timely manner. So they're not going to see the difference. They're not going to feel it, I don't think, right? What they're going to do is if they find an email that they're going to reply back to you, that's going to open up a conversation and you're going to deal with it at that moment. Instead of having to send all of these individual emails, having to create all this stuff on the fly, that's time consuming. That's more impossible, because I don't think anybody that would do it like that would necessarily continue that kind of process when you can build 10, 15 videos and then have them go out in a timely manner. As long as they're done and they're not time sensitive or anything like that, you should be good. So this is, a little bit of what I wanted to talk today. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about next week and that video that we're going to be putting together, showcasing Renee's experience with our CRM and the topic of templates. So I hope everybody enjoys that one. I will send out an email when everybody can check it out. So please stay tuned. And I don't know. I don't have anybody here, so we don't have any questions from the group, but I definitely thank everybody for tuning in. And yeah, stay tuned for next week. I think we're going to have a lot of good content to hear from Renee. So I definitely thank everybody. A pleasure. and I'll see you guys next week. All right. Ciao, ciao, everybody.